Finally, it's the story everybody's talking about today, the largest college admissions fraud in U.S. history.
Yeah, the FBI is calling it Operation Varsity Blues, with wealthy parents trying to buy their kids' way into prestigious schools.
Embellished? How much?
A little, a tad.
Best known for roles on Full House
$20,000?
and Desperate
You
Housewives.
selling, woman?
Lori Loughlin and Felicity Huffman are now facing federal charges for mail fraud as two of the 33 parents, 9 coaches, and 1 college administrator being prosecuted by the Department of Justice for paying money to get their kids into elite schools.
Parents, coaches, and facilitators lied, cheated, and covered up their crimes at the expense of hardworking students and taxpayers everywhere.
It is the largest admission scandal ever. In all, prosecutors say parents paid more than $25 million for allegedly cheating on the SAT or ACT exam and allegedly creating fake athletic profiles to improve their children's chances of being accepted. At the center of the scam is William Singer, who ran a college prep business.
Getting into the right college will set the trajectory for the rest of your son or daughter's life.
Singer pleaded guilty in court, confessing, "I created a side door that would guarantee families would get in." Singer also admitted paying test proctors to let someone else take a student's admissions exam. All the while, Loughlin and Huffman and 31 other parents allegedly disguised their payments to Singer as contributions to a charity he ran, so they could then deduct payments on their income tax. In 2017, Loughlin and her daughter Isabel were here on Today talking about going off to college.
Bella, are you going off to college and leaving your mom?
She's not going far.
Not too far.
I think I'm in complete denial.
Yeah.
And Loughlin's other daughter, Olivia Jade, spoke recently on her popular YouTube channel about attending college.
But I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
News of the wealthy buying admission to higher education is not sitting well with current students.
I was pretty pissed off that someone is able to, pay their way into a school that other students have worked really hard to get into.
That's just so incredibly unfair, and it's taking a spot from someone who really deserves to be here and really wants to be here.
Joining us now, NBC News legal contributor Katie Phang and Princeton Review's editor-in-chief Bob Frank. Hello, guys.
Hey,
How are you?
guys.
Hi. Okay,
Thank you.
so Katie, let's pretend that you are the attorney for Lori Loughlin and for Felicity Huffman. What would you advise them to do this morning?
Immediately negotiate a plea with the federal government. They are so in it. They have evidence against them. It's not just Rick's word, the guy who was the head honcho, the big ringleader, all of it. They're on tape. There's consensual recordings. There's government wiretaps. There's emails. There's texts. They are completely dead to rights in this, and I would negotiate a plea immediately.
So are they talking about jail time, or is this just a fine type thing? What do you think?
Mail fraud, wire fraud. Those are up to 20 years, felonies, up to 20 years in federal prison. No.
No?
Listen, they weren't out for the greed for themselves. They were obviously trying to do it for their kids. I think they get probation. I think they get that, but you better negotiate that sentence quickly before maybe somebody else comes forward.
Wow. What do you make of it, Rob?
I'm here. It's just despicable. And we work with so many students at the Princeton Review, but we should think about the 3 million students that applied to college, just this past year. The system isn't broken. Many of those students get in fair and square, thinking about high school GPA, SAT and ACT scores.
But if you can manipulate those, then that's not fair.
I mean, the irony is that these families could give their students the best of skills to be able to take those tests and master college admission, but what they did was hoodwink the system and go around it, and that's deplorable.
Here's my question, though. How is it possible that the universities,
aren't
aware? Like somehow a coach is getting paid $400,000.
Moves into a mansion down the street.
Yeah, there's doctored pictures. There's stuff. Like, do you think it's? How does it sound to you?
It sounds so thinly veiled to me, but that said, I've been working in higher education now 25 years, and I know so many of these admission deans and directors of admission. I mean, this is a human process with quantitative metrics. It is a moral and ethical process for the majority of those 3 million students that are going to apply to school, but for these handful of students, it's just not the case.
What's going to happen? What are the repercussions going to be?
So they're going to have to go to court, which some of them have done. They're either going to plead or they're going to plead not guilty. And what's going to happen is if one of them is foolish enough to want to go to trial, there's going to be this whole discovery process where the evidence is going to be turned over.
They won't do that to their children, right?
Okay, so this guy who was at the center of it, Singer. Okay,
Rick Singer.
So he's been cooperating for some time now.
Wait, it's crazy. So he's been cooperating since September of 2018. But before him, guess who was cooperating? The Yale women's soccer coach, Rudy Meredith. He's been cooperating since April of 2018. So they were able to set up all of these
he
things.
knew that something didn't add up.
And so it's clear. So the feds made a deal with the ringleader to catch all these little...
the big net.
Yes, and so that's right. So, you know, the ringleader cast this net. He's the one who made these recorded phone calls to the parents and got them to agree that these were not legit charitable contributions to a 501c3, that proctors were going to go in and give the kids the answers or maybe even take the exams for the kids. And so it's all on tape.
And plus they got to write this off on their taxes on top of all of this.
Which is tax fraud. Total tax fraud.
Good grief.
Okay, anyway, I feel better. Not.
I don't.
Not at all.
Thanks
guys.
much.
Thank you.